Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we're going to be doing some quick and easy Dollar Tree spring DIYs. But first I wanted to share with you a mini haul from the Dollar Tree, along with, I'll show you a couple clips of some other things that the Dollar Tree had that I did not pick up, just in case you want to get an idea of what's out there. We'll do this really quick and then we'll go ahead and make some DIYs. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. Just hit the notification bell down below and make sure you turn on your notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I also apologize for the lighting. This is when I finally found a time to do it, but my dishwasher's going in the back, which you might be able to hear, and there's all this light coming through with the blinds, and it is what it is. I didn't go crazy for spring stuff, but I did pick up a few things and I want to share them with you. I guess these maybe are actually considered, well, I'll share the spring things, then I'll share the Easter things with you. They're kind of usable interchangeably, but so you know kind of where to find them. So they have a lot of fun little wood cutout pieces, and I didn't go too crazy on them. I was trying to just pick up ones that I actually thought I would use. These do have a string that you can, they're called craft flower ornaments. So you can hang them. I will probably fill the holes in, I'm thinking. But so I got these cute ones with the fence and the flowers, and then this flowers. I believe they had multiple options of the flowers. I picked up these little craft wood 3D bugs is what they're called. I picked up the ladybugs. They also had them in the with some bumblebees, which I don't know why I didn't pick those up, because I think I wanted to do some bee DIYs at some point. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking. I'm hoping I can still find those. I'm gonna hopefully grab some of those. I also picked up these little wood cutouts. Since there's 45 in here, I picked up, they had two different styles, but I picked up the butterfly and flower. So these will be, oh, and there's looks like there's some leaves. So these will be really fun to use as embellishments. This was in the Garden Indoor by Garden collection, this galvanized sign, and they had 3 different options of this as well. Hopefully you can see the galvanized sign. It's kind of hard, like up against me, I don't know. But you can see the hello, it's got a little bird and a flower, and they had 3 different ones of these as well. A couple things from their Easter collection. I got these little moss bunnies. I think these are just cute for spring. I don't really think I'm gonna be doing a lot of Easter specific DIYs, but I thought these would be fun for that, for spring. And then I grabbed these wood bunnies with the little tails, and this is a 12 pack, which I thought was pretty good. And then to maybe mix in with both of those, I picked up these little carrots. There's 18 in them. I just realized that one of them does not look super great. It's got like little, you can see the individual foam pieces, but that's okay. But I thought these were really cute, and I thought 18 was a good amount. And then one more from the, I guess, garden section. I just picked up these, the 2-pack of the terracotta pots, because I'm sure I will find uses for these. One of the blanks that I picked up, they've got a lot of really great blanks and some fun farmhouse stuff, so I'll try to include some footage for that for you to see. But I picked up this sign and, you know, a really great blank, you know, blank canvas here. And then this is something that they've had before, I've just never picked up. I picked up these farmhouse rub-on transfers. And then I did pick up these hearts in the Valentine's section, which you can still get a lot of, if your store still has any. I'm done with Valentine's DIYs, but I will be using these throughout the year and then save whatever's left for, you know, next Valentine's Day. But I never got around to using them, so I just wanted to share those with you. Let's get started with the first DIY. So we're gonna use some of the items I picked up in that haul. Some of them you'll see in future videos. But I have this little house sign, which is also from the Dollar Tree, although not picked up in that last haul. And I'm just using my hairdryer because the sticker was not coming off well at all, but once I heated it up just a little bit, it peeled right off, just so that it looks nice in the back. And then I was initially going to put paper down inside, but then I went in to paint it to just cover the edges in case the paper wasn't like perfect, and I ended up deciding to just leave it painted instead of putting the paper down. So I did a couple coats. I'm using Plaster by Waverly, which is watered down because it was getting towards the bottom. So I had to do a couple of coats, and you could kind of still see the stripes through, but not the colors at all. You could just kind of see like the different depths. So you could kind of see the stripes. So that didn't bother me, but I could have just done another coat if I needed to. So there it is, all painted. And this one is going to be really easy. I love this for spring. I'm going to use the wooden cubes or wooden blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue one of those on the back of each of the bunnies because I want to go for a little bit more dimensional sign that we're making here. But you could also you could skip that if you wanted or just use something else. But the bunny is big enough that it totally blocks the block. You can't see it at all. You could use wood glue if you wanted. I have pretty good luck with the hot glue, plus I sometimes take my DIYs apart and redo them. So hot glue is what I'm using. And then I have these rub-on transfers. I was trying to show you the package. It was a whole bunch of words, and I've been using them for quite a while. And I just pulled out a couple of words that I thought went together, and we're just going to rub them on. All you have to do is take off the backing, place them down, and lift them up. I was showing you that if you're having a hard time lifting up the clear, like the top part, I sometimes just use the paper backing that I pulled off, and that seems to work really well to pull it off. So the words I chose was embrace adventure. I don't know, I had this image in my mind of the bunnies being playful. I don't know, I thought it was cute. And so I am just hot gluing the wood blocks to the back of this sign. You could do this for Easter if you wanted to put an Easter saying. I'm not really decorating for Easter, but I thought this was cute for spring as well because, you know, all the critters come out when the weather is nice. And I'm going with a more neutral palette for this DIY, but the other two have a lot of color. So of course, switch it up for your preference. And then I wanted to add in a couple little butterflies. These are really, really cute. Love this find from Dollar Tree. And I'm using what is some type of like a tacky glue to adhere these with using a toothpick because I felt like they were so small that hot glue would be tough to get on there right. Although you'll see in another DIY I do use my hot glue, but the tacky glue, I don't know what this is called. It's called like crafter's glue, but it's just like tacky glue. This worked really good, and I just used the toothpick to apply the glue and added a couple of those. I will show a kind of finished look at the end for all of them. So for this next one, I pulled out this little sign. This was like a tiered tray pack kind of for Christmas from Walmart that I picked up at the end of the season on clearance so I could just make them over. I sanded down one edge because the paper was hanging off a little bit, took off the sticker, and we're going to give this a couple coats of the Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery. I'm painting the back and the sides, and I do 2 coats because the MDF kind of sucks up the paint. So it dries pretty quick, but I did 2 coats. And then we'll end up covering the back side or what was the front side later. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel out so much and lets YouTube know that you're liking what I'm doing and they're more likely to share it with others. Now I'm just taking those wood pieces from Dollar Tree that I had picked up. I'm trying to cut them down. I used scissors, which worked fine. It wasn't that hard, even though it looks like it, but I was trying to be careful to not split the wood, which it did a little bit, but I repair it. Anyways, I wanted 2 of these to fit along the width or length of the sign. I ended up switching to a cutting mat and a utility knife because I felt like that was more, I don't know, not going to split it as much. So this is what I'm going for. You can use anything you want as a base. I'm just using that sign that I had on hand, but you could use another sign from Dollar Tree, a scrap piece of wood, whatever you want. This is just a little like tiered tray filler piece. And I'm just using more of that tacky glue to glue them together best I can, and then I'm repairing some places that had gotten weak. And then I'm going in with the Hippie Crafters markers that they had sent me. I showed you them a few videos back, and I really do enjoy them, so I'm using them to paint this piece. But you could also use a tiny paintbrush and some acrylic paint. You could also just stain this or leave it as is, but this one I'm going for a little bit more color. So I'm just painting the leaves and the flowers, and we're going to paint the fence as well. I was just having fun with this. But once again, do it with whatever colors and themes go with your decor. I try to do stuff that doesn't always just go with my decor, that's stuff that maybe other people like, because I'm just trying to give you guys ideas and inspiration. So I definitely use a little bit more neutrals when it comes to this kind of thing, but the colors are definitely fun. And then I'm going to use the furniture markers from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that on the fence. That worked really great. Places that had a little bit of glue residue didn't come out the same shade, but that's okay. You're not going to really be able to see it super well anyway, but just something to keep in mind. And I'm just using, wow, that was really fast. I sped that up a lot. I'm using a glue stick and some scrapbook paper for the bottom. You could paint it. You could also just leave it. We're going to glue it down and then cut off the edges. And that way, the bottom of it at least looks finished. You could also use Mod Podge, however you want to do that. And then I'm just taking some hot glue along the back. We're going to build our little scene. I put a nice bead of glue, stuck it down in there, held it till it set a little bit. And then I'm also going to go in, I don't know how to say that, but it's some type of moss grass stuff from the Crafters Square area. And I'm going to put that in. To me, it looks a little bit more grassy. So I'm just going to put some more along the back and front of the fence line because that allowed me to add even more hot glue, which I feel like would help hold it even better. Once again, feel free to use wood glue if you want. You could put a little dowel rod or skewer on the back where you could add more glue as well. But this is how I chose to do it. And I'm just going to put that on both sides and stick the grass in. I should say I'm going to put hot glue on both sides and stick the grass in. And then I'm going to pull one of these moss bunnies from the Dollar Tree. I will tell you, I pulled them out and I sprayed them with hairspray because they were kind of shedding. So you might not want to do that, but just kind of put that out there. Then hot glued a little carrot on it as well. And then I decided to do a little bit more of that grass moss stuff. It had a fancy name. I don't know what it's called. But I'm going to put that around the bunny as well. So the bunny is kind of sitting in, a field of grass. I'll show it to you at the end. All right, on to our last DIY. I've got the flower wood ornament, I think is what it was called. My lightweight spackling from the Dollar Tree is old and more crumbly than normal, so it wasn't super great, but I'm using it to fill in the hole. You can use whatever you've got. You can also use hot glue. We're going to let that dry. Once it dries, just sand it off to make it smooth. Now I'm going to take one of our terracotta pots using more of that plaster paint. And I was going to try to do a lighter dry brush and then build on it, but it went on a little bit heavy, so I didn't get enough off of my paintbrush. But you're going to see, I'm just going to keep going with it. One thing with the terracotta is it sucks up the paint. So there's really not a whole lot of room to move paint around on it. You could also layer this with other colors, just depending on the look you want. You could do a solid if you wanted it solid. I wanted it a little bit rustic, but not over the top rustic. I also painted the top and the bottom and just a little bit of the inside because I wasn't sure how this whole thing was going to come through. Now we're going to go back in with my paint markers and we're going to just paint this guy here. We're just going to paint the leaves, the stem, the flower. We're making it bright. We're making it colorful. You could also, once again, use your acrylic paint. So you could cover it with paper. That would be really fun as well. I've got several more because I think it came in like a 5 or 6 pack. So we'll see how I decide to use the rest of them. And if you wanted to, you could flip it over so you don't have, there's like little dark lines that give definition here. If you didn't want that, you could flip it over and paint the back side. Always remember, it's for ideas and inspiration. Do it how you like it. And then I'm just taking some floral foam pieces. These are just scraps I had, but they fit perfect. And I'm just shoving them in here. Once again, if you want more permanent, you can hot glue that in. I tend to take a lot of my DIYs apart because I make a lot of them for the videos and like reuse some of the pieces. So I'm just going to hot glue a part of a dowel rod. You could also use a wooden skewer on the back of our flower. Feel free to finish off the back side if you want. And I'm just going to stick that in the floral foam. We're going to take more of that fancy grass moss stuff, tuck that around. You could also just use the moss if you want, but I like the green color of this in these DIYs. And we're just tucking it in, not using any hot glue, but you can if you want. Giving it a little bit of a haircut. And I was like, okay, I think I want to do something else. So I'm adding in some of these butterflies. I'm putting one at the top because I didn't feel like the hole covered very well. I think it was just my spackling. And then I added just a couple more. But this is clearly not supposed to look realistic. It's a wood flower. But it's more like fun and whimsical is kind of what I was going for. And this is how they came out. I love all of them. I think the neutral one with the bunnies is probably my favorite just because that's kind of what I naturally gravitate towards. But I do like how they all came out. Let me know what one is your favorite. Do you decorate for spring, Easter? Do you do any of that? I feel like some of these could just be up for like spring and summer. But anyways, that is it for today's video. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. See you next time.